Welcome to Wiretapped Truths. I'm Jesse Perez, joined by Truths Leland. All right, and it's funny when I rewatch this, I point this way because you're to my left now, but on camera you're gonna be this way. So
yeah, point that way, bro.
When it actually
I'm in that left corner quadrant.
It's like Usher singing "We Are the Champions."
Yeah. When it drops on YouTube, I'm always pointing the wrong way.
All right. This is a real Brady Bunch kind of thing we're doing.
But joined by Mr. Wiretap Truths, Leland, our resident comedian Jack Simmons. Today we got a special guest, Kamaal Bostic Smith, once again.
Our first repeat guest.
Yeah.
Let me just establish that too on the channel. Yep. Our first repeat guest.
Yeah, definitely. So we said we're gonna I don't even know if we dropped that video yet, but we announced it somewhere that we're gonna that we're doing a new assignment, and what we're doing is we're rewatching episodes of The Wire with an actor from the episode, and we're recapping it again with that actor. Today is Mr. Kamaal Bostic Smith, who's Snot Boogie's friend on the opening scene. So this should be a fun time, man. Shout out Miss Donna Adrian Gibson. She sent me this Omar from The Wire shirt. She sent me another shirt and a We Own the City poster. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Miss Donna, our resident executive producer. As you can see, I have my hat on. We Own the City, and the shirt, for those that don't know, her daughter was in this scene with Poop. Miss Deanna Ogle is Miss Donna's daughter right here. So we want to thank you, Miss Donna. We appreciate. We got our gifts in the mail. We appreciate you so much. So much love to you and your family. Thank you.
For sure. All right. And then we're gonna so you guys just want to get right into it, or Kamaal, you want to introduce yourself? Jack, you want to say hi real quick?
Hi real quick.
Hi real quick. No, I'm good. Let's jump into it. Let's do it.
For sure.
All right, Jack, take us away, bro.
Yes, sir. I am the resident narrator. So
yes,
it's kind of crazy, reviewing the scene with the person in the scene. But yeah, the first scene of
groundbreaking stuff here, y'all. Just
right.
We're not gonna act like this is normal. This is
kind of surreal
stuff right here. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we start off. The first shot is we just see noise, mayhem, flashing lights. It's like an external shot outside of a building, and we have Dominic West, Jimmy McNulty, talking to a really handsome actor right here about his friend Snot Boogie, who recently passed away. And one thing I wanted to ask, okay, so I don't know if you know this, but the blood on the street, Kamaal, what did they use as blood? Do you know that?
I'm not sure. They were setting that up while we were while Dominic was learning how to say the word boogie. So we were sitting there and they were putting it together. So I'm not really sure, but I think it's interesting that they use that as the that low shot of the blood, leading to the atmosphere shot, right before we started talking. Like, what a way to start a show. So showing blood on the ground, like it's very telling of what the story kind of evolves into, for starting like that.
And Kamaal, in our group, the group that kind of brought us all together, it's a Facebook group called All the Pieces Matter. And it's ran by this person. I don't know if you even tapped in. He's got a Twitter page called Ziggy's Duck. His name is
actually he posted a couple pictures of me and Snot Boogie.
Okay.
That guy, I don't know where he gets all these photos from.
He has pictures that I don't have. Like, he posted a picture from the salon.
Bro, he's tapped in ways that we don't know how. We don't know what. We don't know. I don't even know if some of the actors have ever even met him in person, but they know who Ziggy's Duck is. Like, they know who
I know exactly who he is. I saw a picture of me with a throwback Sixers warm up. I was like, and I remember when I bought the damn Sixers warm up, but I was like, I've never seen it. I had this goes against everything Eagles that I am, but this was that time period, right? So I had on a red Patriots hat and a Sixers warm up. I'm like, where the hell did this picture come from? This is crazy. I had to
Bro,
screenshot it and keep it.
Bro, he's tapped in, bro. And honestly, I'm in probably 12 or 13 wire groups on Facebook. None of them are the same as his. Like, it's not even close. It's so I don't know what kind of magic he has over the fans and the people from the wire, but shout out to Ziggy's Dog, shout out to Kurt.
I consider well, his real name is Kurt. That's Kurt who runs it. I consider his Twitter page like the official fan page for the Wire.
No, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I follow him. I definitely follow him on Twitter.
Same with the group. But I posted in the group like probably a month and a half ago, almost 2 months. What's the best cold open from the Wire? You know, like in the whole series. Yours was probably the top one. It was yours and Snoop. That was like, those were pretty much the only two constant answers that I was receiving. It was, it's like, well, you got to go with This Is America. You know, how could you not pick that one? You know, so it's people revere this open for sure.
Yeah. So, it's Dominic West and Kamaal here talking about who. Let's just give them the feedback on what we're talking about here on who shot Snot. And Kamaal, you did some great acting here, man. I was watching it like, yo.
I rewatched it last night again too. I was like, damn, because I got a question for you too as we break this down, and I don't think I asked you on our first interview. Because I was rewatching, I was like, man, he flexing them acting chops here. Like, okay.
Go ahead.
I felt like I said, I told y'all the first time, like I was blessed to be able to do that. I remember already knowing my lines. I mean, they sent this is back when fax machines was out. They faxed the script, and I knew my damn lines. Probably, I was in the mirror, like I had to be down there for like. And I think I told you guys like that I had went to the reading, so I knew my lines well before it was time to film. Yeah, I was ready. I was locked in. Definitely for that. And of course, I had to flex, man. It's my friend. I'm on HBO. Like, couldn't get out there and look. I got people looking.
Big leagues.
Nah, it was on point, man. And as you know, we pay attention to everything. And as I was rewatching as many times as I've seen it, I was just watching like your timing, like when you looked at McNulty. Like, it's a good little clip. Like, I'm sure when you audition for stuff and stuff like that, like it's a good clip. It's a good show.
It's the first thing in my demo reel.
Yeah, bro.
The very first thing in my demo reel.
It's a good clip for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed rewatching this, because I've watched this like 1,000 times, is that Dominic West, McNulty, a lot for that conversation that you guys are having, he spends a lot of time looking at you, but you rarely look at him, and I wonder if that was like purposely.
It's so crazy because I was thinking it it's like wavelength, because I was watching it yesterday and I was saying to myself, like, damn, like you are so locked in looking at Snot Boogie. It was kind of like, and I remember, as an actor, you try to find what it is that puts you in the moment and keeps you in the scene, right? And I felt like I was looking at my friend. So if you notice, like it's hard to tell until the very last shot when it shows like the wide shot of me and McNulty sitting on the steps and Snot Boogie on the ground. But the whole time we're filming, my eyes are locked on Snot. Like I'm sitting there looking at him. So it's like it's the mental process of like, that I'm talking about this right now and it's happening in real time, and for us living this human experience, like that's not something that we normally do. Like we're always thinking about the next step, right? We're always thinking about where we're going next, and we don't really stay locked in the moment. And I think that at that time, like it's the reflection, like who he was, what he meant to me, and even the story that I'm telling McNulty about how he used to take the money and run. I think so my eyes just kind of stayed locked on him. At that time, the police officer wasn't important to me.
Right.
I mean, as it is for, a lot of people in the inner city. It's like, I'm focused on this person that I know. So my eyes are locked in on him the whole time because I'm reflecting. I think it was a very reflective moment.
Yeah, for sure. And it makes sense too, because Jimmy's just trying to gather information, he's just doing his job. And one thing, and I mentioned this. A lot of the stuff that we mentioned in the first episode, we're going to mention again, of course. One thing that I always appreciate here is how it establishes Jimmy as a character and why he's such a good detective. Because um, he's not interrogating you or your character, or sort of like he's not aggressive or condescending. He's very sympathetic and understanding. He doesn't view himself as like better than people in the game or just average citizens, because he can relate to them. He's very empathetic, which makes him like able to be a better detective in that way.
He's extremely humanized. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
you know, he even from that opening scene, y'all. Like, I mean, it's, and even when he's explaining it to him, he almost has to pause. Like, now wait a minute, hold on. So y'all just let him do this shit every time y'all play dice? Like, hold on, do I have it? Am I understanding it right? Or like, you know, you gotta think about it for a second.
That's the whole thing, right? Like, he's finessing him the whole time, but when he actually
Definitely
gets tripped
finessing.
up on the whole thing, you know, he's like, he's just trying to say, yeah. Now, like, you know, trying to get the name of the person, and then it's kind of like, but wait, what? Like, you know, every time.
I mean,
and it's so.
He had a job to do, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
he definitely had a job, you know, as a detective to do. Which, you know, in the very next scene after the credits, he says, you know, oh yeah, he'll stand for 3 Newports and a grape soda, like, you know. So
yeah, I was about to speak on that too. Like, and it's almost like for McNulty, for him to get that confession, like he said, it just took some Newports and a grape soda. But it's like his mind when he was explaining it to Bunk. And he's like, guess what the kid said? He said that this is America. So, like, what in McNulty's mind after he said that, like, kind of got him? We didn't see it on camera, but what made him, you saying this is America, made him think, like, okay, yeah, I can get a confession out of him with no issue. Like, it's kind
what was the lead up conversation? I think, you know, and I'm pretty sure, you know, Wendell and Dominic probably had that, you know, whatever it was beforehand. There was something that, you know, in their minds, they knew the conversation had started from to get to that point. We'll never know, of course, you know, but you know, as an actor, you definitely, you know, go before the scene and what happened and after the scene, not just what's on camera. So I'm sure that there was something like, I don't know, but I'm sure there was definitely something that he had in his mind to, you know, oh my gosh, I can't believe that he said that. Like, you know, like, this is America. I guess it is. You know, gotta let him play. Gotta play the game. Like,
and it also too, that opening little scene when he's walking in the court, it just shows too. We mentioned this on our first recap. It just shows that for McNulty, solving a homicide is like, it don't take much for me to do this job. Like, I can do it almost easily in my sleep as I walk into, you know, the bigger picture case that I'm not even a part of, and the whole backdrop to the whole season as we walk into this courtroom. But it's like, oh yeah, murder's down. I did it. It's done. It's already. It didn't even take me much. It didn't take me much investigating. I'm done. You know, he was such a master homicide detective. Like, it came nothing to him. Like,
for sure. And it kind of also, like you said, it establishes the tone. It's like the scene itself is like, it's sad and kind of horrifying, but then it has like moments of humanism, and then it's funny, and that's kind of like life itself, and kind of establishes the tone of the show right away. And now I had this kind of theory about like the metaphor for Snot Boogie and what he does, right? Because he has a role to play, right? He's the guy that steals the money when they're all playing dice, right, or cards, or and he says, like, well, why do you let him get away with it? He says, well, this is America. And I always thought, from what I took about that, is like, it's kind of about the cops or the gangs, and that everyone has the role to play, and we allow these people to do what they do because that's how society functions. Everyone itself has a role to play.
This is America.
Yeah,
it's America. And I think that's exactly, you know, whenever I have to explain it, or whenever somebody asks me, that's pretty much, you know, exactly what I say. You let them play until they can't play anymore. And whether it's, you know, you go to court, you do something, you sell drugs, you go to court, you get off, you come back out, you sell drugs, you go to court, you get off, come back out, you sell drugs, you go to court. This time you go in, you know what I'm saying? But every time you've gotten off, whether, like, you know, I think, you know, look, it costs a lot of money, you know, to keep you out of jail. That, you know, we had to move a lot of pieces around. but you're back out here. You know why you're back out here? Because this is America, D'Angelo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, this is America. So you get a chance to play again until you can't play anymore. And once you can't, and we know at some point he wasn't able to play anymore, right? So, but yeah, and then even in the there's another scene where I forgot who it was. Oh, it was the court scene, the courthouse scene where the DA, not the DA, the lawyer says to Stringer, "I'll be chalking you out one day." You get to play the game. You get to
that's
play
that's Detective Barlow.
Yeah, Barlow. That's right, Barlow. You get to play the game as long as you can play the game until you can't anymore, because this is America, you know. So yeah,
I love that like, little. Go ahead, Jesse.
It's also like kind of like dumb logic in the sense of like, right? Like if I'm hosting a Texas Hold'em game for buddies and somebody keeps bringing on an extra ace, I'm gonna be like, bro, you can't play here no more. Like, it's not. I'm not gonna have the mentality of like, nah, we have to. This is America. So it's kind of like, it's almost like weird logic of like this. It's okay to catch him and beat his ass, but the simpler solution would be like, no, you can't play here. Right?
You can't play anymore. Yeah, but this is America. Like,
yeah.
It shows the flaws in the system itself. It's like the whole thing is ridiculous, you know. And that kind of goes to what, like, we always taught. One of my favorite scenes, I kind of like didn't even really appreciate the scene until we did the rewatch, is when Avon is talking to D'Angelo and seeing his uncle, and he's essentially saying like his whole life he's living on chance, right? He's living his whole life on the edge, on borrowed time, and he's saying like eventually luck runs out because you can't.
You're never gonna be late, Jack.
Yeah, eventually you make a mistake. That's human nature. Nobody's perfect, and eventually, even if you're Stringer Bell and you're ultra careful, and eventually you fuck up one time and it's over.
So let's I'm sorry, Jack, but let's get caught up to where we're at, because we did the opening scene.
For sure.
You want to do the
and they're in court.
The quote. You want to do
you.
the quote and stuff, and then we already talked about like what they talked about in court, and then.
Yeah, for sure. Directed, of course, Clark Johnson, Gus Haynes directed the pilot, and I'm pretty sure the finale. Had a little bit of a director's career, by the way. He made this movie SWAT with Samuel L. Jackson and Colin Farrell, and so it was like, and also, of course, he starred in Homicide: Life on the Street. So, you know, everybody's like, everyone gets recycled, right?
Yeah.
And what's interesting too is the first scene. I like the camera work too, because you see McNulty and Bunk, and you see them through a security television, and then the camera pans up, and you actually see the two characters walking, and it's like, it's cool little like camera trick, like also like good framing of the actors.
It's also a tap into the wire. You know what I'm saying? And they do that. They do that quite often. There's another scene, I think, in that first or second episode where I forgot who's on the elevator, but like you can see the elevator camera. Like it's an elevator camera.
Is it McNulty going into the FBI?
No.
Yes.
No, so that's, but then there's another scene. I think it's who does this?
Ross.
Yes, he's on the elevator. And there's like you can see the elevator camera. So, you know, I think it just kind of preludes into tapping into cameras that aren't the camera, you know, that Big Brother camera. And it starts with the first episode. I mean, and then you got Snoop later on in seasons, you know, trying to unhook those same type cameras that are used to survey. So
everyone's being watched. Yeah. Everyone's being watched. There's constantly like a surveillance state. Even in the opening theme song, a lot of the shots for the opening theme song are through the cameras, you know. And it's like, it shows why people are just extremely paranoid, because they're constantly being monitored. And McNulty is recounting the exchange to Bunk, and he's saying like, this is America, and he thinks it's hilarious. And it shows he genuinely has an appreciation for other people. And also he's checking in on the D'Angelo Barksdale case, a case that he's not even assigned to. It's his off hours. Most people, when they're not on duty, they're like you know, especially cops are like, let's go hit the pubs or
McNulty
do whatever. Yeah, you know.
He's
And
gonna hit
it's
the pub
because
too. Okay,
Yeah.
he's gonna hit the pub too. Like
He
you know,
multitasks. Yeah,
yeah,
he
you know.
well, we
he
find
finds,
out
you know.
also it's because the Barksdale beat McNulty before they beat Barlow.
Right on the
And-
Jannard case, Jannard Bowl.
And
What his name?
McNulty hates being beat, right? We know that. So he
Yeah.
wants to go. He wants to go see how this one is working out.
Oh yeah.
And it's so funny when you because you say that, Jason. When he talks to Rawls, pretty much like, you know, as to why he told the judge, he said, you know, they beat me up on the Jannard Bowl case last year, and Rawls is like, you're having them press me about a prior from 2 years ago, last year. Like, what are you even doing, kind of thing. Like, and we'll get to that scene because I love that scene with Rawls. But yeah, keep going, Jack.
Oh yeah, and another thing too, this is about the camera work I notice is that the wire, one thing I appreciate is that the whole thing is shot on 35mm film rather than digital video, and that just has that like quality, like grainy texture that just like makes it kind of timeless. Especially, and it was very unusual because all at that time a lot of shows were being switched to digital.
Yeah,
And
and Sopranos and all that were. I think they were all shot digitally. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's why the angles and setups took so long. You know, because you know they shot on 35. So
Right, exactly. And for those at home that don't know what I'm talking about, 35mm film, it's like shot through a reel rather than shot through an individual camera. So you're taking individual still images put through a projector that causes it to create the illusion of film. And it takes a lot more time to set up, which is why most directors don't do that. Some directors do, like Quentin Tarantino and Paul Thomas Anderson are big on shooting that, but from a producers, they think it's like a big pain in the ass because it's going to take like twice as much time. And you can kind of tell because it just has this very specific look to it. Now McNulty, one thing also is that he's taking a look at this scene of Barksdale, and it immediately goes from like the protagonist to the Barksdale organization, and you see that D'Angelo is on court. He's represented by Maurice Levy, and he's on trial for killing a rival player, and and in the back we see Stringer Bell looking extremely menacing. This was like Idris Elba's big debut, and he's like
in America.
Yeah, facts.
Right,
Facts.
of course, yes. This, and you just see them like they're kind of terrifying. A lot of the shots are from up close, so you see them in the distance, and it kind of puts you in the perspective of these guys on court. And you see in real life, this is jury tampering and witness intimidation, and it's like extremely illegal and just blatantly happening right here. And the judge can't do anything really to stop it too. It shows like they have this much power, they're able to afford this. The Barksdale organization is able to afford it. They call in Nikisha Lyles.
So
chewing that gum.
I find it funny too that you know, Nikisha's kind of like when they originally tell the story, they're like, so they tell us D'Angelo kind of character, right? Already too. They were like, wait, so he was beating the man with the gun was getting beat. You know, it's kind of like, you know, we already see like, yo, D has a gun and he's getting beat up, you know, and it's kind of like, so we already know like his hood
Street
status
cred.
is not, yeah, his street cred is kind of like, you know, like how do you have a gun on somebody and you're getting beat up, you know? It's kind of
it's
like,
a good point.
so
I mean, he did shoot him though. I mean, you know, I don't want to challenge his street cred, you know, kind of thing. He did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
In the fight.
Yeah, I don't know if street cred is the word, but it establishes that like D's not meant for the game, right? Like, why do you have the gun? Like, why are you the one with the gun and you're getting beat up? Like, how does this work out when you're running the high rises, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. He's kind of like the big fuck up son. You know, they all have to bail him out. He's constantly screwing up. He's only really in his position because he's Avon's nephew. He, like I said this before, he reminds me a lot of like Christopher Moltisanti in The Sopranos, where he really doesn't like that life, but he's just kind of put in this position and he's constantly having to be bailed out by the boss.
But
And
Chrissy loved that life.
that's true. Yeah, that's a big point. Yeah. D'Angelo, on the other hand.
He didn't have a shot. He didn't have no chance to get out of the life. And we
Right.
don't really explore Brianna's role in The Wire so much. It's like subtle in terms of everything that she does. But she's a queen pin. Like, you know, we don't really talk about it and establish her as that in the show. But we got to get some of the stuff that she's done, going to talk to Roberto in New York, dealing with the money. Like, she's a queen pin in their organization. He didn't have a shot. He was never gonna live a legit life. If your mom she's who she is,
right?
Yeah. Be able to not be in the game.
It's very similar to, well, not very, but you think about Power, Raising Kanan. You know, it's like you born into it, man. Like, you know, your uncles are you know, henchmen and drug dealers, and your mom's you know, like you kind of. You're in it, like that's what you know. It's like other kids know, you know, nursery rhymes and playing with video games, and you see chopping up bricks and banging people over the head. So
and honestly, you know what, Kamaal, and I haven't rewatched Raising Kanan the first season yet. Like I've seen it, I think once or twice, but I haven't watched it and studied it since we started breaking down our podcast from that view. I need to go back and rewatch season 1 and see, like, was he ever even did Kanan ever even have a chance to not?
He never had a chance.
Did she even try to like keep him away from it? I need to rewatch season 1 and go back into.
I mean, but it's so my son is 5. You know, it's even if you try to keep someone from, if they see you, they admire what you do. You know, I'm sure D'Angelo admired what his uncle was doing, what his family, you know, what the family had created. It's like, you know, all these guys, you know, we're getting it. Like, I want to be a part of this. So even if you don't have the fortitude to be able to, you want to find your way in that scenario somehow so that you can, you know, be a legitimate player in your family and what they do. And I think that, you know, I'm not going to jump forward when we get to it, but just, you know, even kind of seeing, you know, how, Avon talked to him, even how Stringer talked to him. All right, man. Hey, Weebay, go get little cousin ride down to the you know, to the low rise. Get him up out of here, man. Like,
you know, we're floating an idea, Kamaal, on us trying to break down D'Angelo and Stringer's relationship. We haven't formed exactly how we want to do it, but there's so much disrespect from Stringer to D'Angelo, even up until he's dead, really. Like, you know,
well, the filmmakers disrespect. The filmmakers, I think, disrespect. Whoever directed that episode when Stringer had sex with Donette after D'Angelo died didn't like D neither. How do you close up a picture on D after on D'Angelo on the table?
Oh yeah.
I like these directors greasy, man.
and you know they be laughing behind the camera, just like when certain things are happening. It's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're getting away with this. Like,
yeah. But that's a valid point though about the nephew, because even in Jack, I think y'all said y'all may have seen American Gangster, but like the Frank Lucas story, Kamaal, with the nephew, he had a nephew
one of my favorite movies,
scouted by the Yankees, and I think
T.I.
He played the nephew that was scouted by the Yankees. He was A1 baseball prospect, and he didn't end up going to the meeting with the Yankees. And he was like, "Nah, I skipped it because I want to do what you do, Uncle Frank. You know, I don't want to play baseball no more. I want to do what you doing. You got us all here in this big estate out here in North Carolina. I don't think me being a black baseball player in the 60s is gonna get me what you have. I got
a little tidbit about that movie too, actually. So Ruben Santiago, who plays he's in everything. He plays the Frank Lucas's driver. His son is one of my best friends. He's like my big brother, Ruben Santiago Jr. So I was on the set a couple of days of American Gangster. I was up there in New York, in Harlem, because, you know, I wasn't living up there, but you know, not big. We call Ruben Big Rube, but Little Rube was like, "Yo, slide up," you know, because he was doing some. He was PAing on the movie, so I had to go up there and hang out a little bit, which was
phenomenal movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
The story has been fabricated, and a lot of the stuff has been disproven. It was almost like Frank Lucas lying about what he was really doing, but for screen purposes, it's a phenomenal movie. You know, I don't know, a lot of it might be 70-80% of it might be false, but you know, for movie purposes, it's a top tier 10 out of 10 movie for sure.
And he was on set. I'm pretty sure he was in a wheelchair too.
Yeah, he was. He was fucked up. He was a fucked up individual. Like, you know, even past dealing drugs in the community. You know, some of the shit that he was on, he wasn't solid, to say the least. All right, but where we at in the story, Jack?
That's amazing.
I think when the security guard flips right, McNulty walks down the hall to Barlow.
Oh yeah, of course. And before you get it, I just wanted to say, you just mentioned Ruben Sanchez. That's interesting. It's kind of like kismet because I just watched the show with his daughter Lily Santiago on this Netflix.
Twins. Well, she's the girl. She has a twin brother. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. She stars in this actually a really good miniseries called Untamed on Netflix with Eric Bana. That's set in Yellowstone, and it has it's a murder mystery. It's actually really good.
I haven't seen them. Oh my gosh, what is she? Probably like 17 now. She's got to be.
No, she's like 30.
She can't be 30, yo. Are you
she's
serious?
Like 30 years old. Yeah, she has a daughter in that show.
What are you? So yeah. They were like little. I'm telling you, like. So I guess that was the last time I saw them when I was up there for American Gangster. That was the last time I saw them.
And I mean, that was 07, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so 29. Wow.
And they were probably like 9 years old. They were young. That's crazy. I mean, I guess time flies. I got a gray beard and bald head, so yeah. And I had a head full of hair. Yeah, you just don't think about it like that, man. You know, like you don't think about time and that. Like I'm like, oh yeah, she's got to be like 17. No,
she got a whole child.
29. Yeah.
29. I gotta call Rube and be like, yo, bro, like what?
Yeah, dude, she's got a daughter in that show and is plays a cop and everything. It's kind of it's crazy. That's the thing with actors too. When you watch an actor's career, it does show wow, over time, it's kind of I saw something. One of the actors from one of the actors from I saw Home Alone is 90 years old now. It's shit.
Yeah. He was 60 when it started. I think I seen that little montage too, Jack. It showed all the actors of Home Alone. It was pretty cool. Yeah. No, some of them old, some of them way old, bro.
Mm-hmm. It's so the one who.
Barlow and McNulty.
Yeah, and Detective Barlow is a nice contrast to McNulty because he really the way he treats McNulty treats the job like a passion, right? Yes. It's something he lives and breathes, being a cop. Detective Barlow, it's kind of the way that most cops are. He's just it's a thing to pay the bills. He's on phone. Yeah, he's just getting a check. He's on the phone. The first time you see him, he's arguing with a contractor. It's funny because they show his receptionist is just rolling his eyes when he's like, "You hear that? That's you fucking me," you know. And
his old nuts in the phone, he wilding. We introduce him wilding. He wilding.
Oh yeah, and he's of course the detective that's assigned to Barksdale's case. Mm-hmm. McNulty's coming in to tell him that Nikisha Lyles was paid off by the Barksdales to not call out D'Angelo, and he's telling him, well, your key witness just flipped.
And he's like, bullshit, I got 2 witnesses, not happening.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack, just really quick to touch on what you just said, the contrast between him and McNulty. If you fast forward to season 5, he blackmails McNulty to go to a golf trip to not even do no police work. I want you to say that I'm investigating something so I can go play golf in South Carolina or whatever he said he was going to shoot. And he said, McNulty, hey, look, I think you're into some shit. If you don't grant this, I'm going to pick up the phone and let people know that you got bullshit going on. So go ahead and prove it. McNulty was like, all right, shit then, I guess. So that right there, that little contrast between them, fast forwarding all the way to season 5, y'all don't give a fuck about this job, bro. I don't care about this job, bro. All right,
Oh yeah,
you're gonna get a check. I want to go play golf. kind of thing. And I want to do it on the company's time. Okay, let me just tell you that. So that's a good little catch in comparing how they look at the job for sure.
And I don't know if Kamaal knows this, but I'm a huge McNulty fan. I kind of relate to the character a lot. But this is also the first time we see Greg's. One thing about the great pilot does is it introduces the characters, the main characters.
Establish what they're about from the jump. Like
exactly.
That's a great note, bro.
And Greg's is in the car, and she's talking to a witness who's going to help bring down a couple of drug dealers. And she's patiently waiting, like biding her time, doing things by the book, very meticulous, very carefully. And she walkie-talkies Herc and Carver, telling them to get the guys. And Herc and Carver are the exact opposite, right? They're all about like the big macho, fucking guns in the air, gotta kick some ass kind of cops. And they pull this guy over. They both are like, "Get the fuck out of the car!" Both, and they find the gun. They find the money, and they're all like dabbing each other up, like, "Yeah, we did it! Whoa, fuck yeah!" And
two.
Yeah, right. You supposed to get all the guns out the car. They missed the whole gun in the back seat, like
You know what? But I kind of like when Carver kind of said, "Yo, chill, Kima. It's all cool, right?"
Right.
Because Kima like's pretty serious about it. I'm like, yeah. I mean, what? There is nobody next to the car where that gun is in danger to them.
No, but you still gotta put it in the evidence. You gotta put the guns in the evidence. So if they're not thinking, "Oh, we got one gun, let's lock everybody up," so y'all are gonna leave this car, you're not gonna search the rest of the vehicle to get the other piece of evidence.
Right, because the whole case falls apart if you don't get everything.
Important, not necessarily the danger of the gun. Right. Is we gotta submit it into evidence. You missing a whole piece of evidence that's back here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was.
She talks about it when they're sitting there, and she brings it up again.
Yeah,
she's putting it on the typewriter when she's typing it in. She's like, "Nah, dude."
Jesse don't like it. He won't admit it, but he don't like the Kima character.
Oh man, Sonya's son is beautiful to look at. I would.
No, I know we like to try to establish like she's a good cop, or she has like she's not a perfect character kind of thing. We talk.
Yeah. I just like being difficult sometimes, but I love Kima.
I love that because we need like a little different perspective, which is good.
Man, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just if she all I said is if she's like Little Miss Perfect ratting out McNulty and season 5, why does she have no problem beating up Bodie, putting hands on somebody when you're not?
He hit a cop.
Sure, but
he deserved that. He hit a cop.
Punch Don Zimmer in the face.
He got stomped out though, right?
He hit a cop. He hit a cop, bro. Like,
he hit a cop.
Yeah, bro. And you even said that, Jesse. They're a gang. Like,
Yeah.
That was.
They robbed each other.
They probably took it light on him. They ain't get in trouble for it. He hit a cop. She's not gonna not whoop his ass because he hit one of her staff members. No, I ain't too good to do that. Nah, hell no. We can do that. We can go stump him out. Fuck yeah, let's do it.
She did something else that I thought was a little hypocritical. Like she bent the rules for something, and then I was like,
she bent the rule for McNulty in season 3.
Well, she fucked up because she took Omar's word. That was her big fuck up. Was she took Omar's word for the bird shooting without
Omar's
that was
word.
Her big.
I'm sorry, Leland. That's what I was talking about. She let Amsterdam happen without reporting it.
Yeah, those two things. And then the stuff with McNulty. When she turned McNulty against Daniels, that's not, that's kind of, that's a little questionable, And that's my one problem with McNulty too, is that he stabbed Daniels in the back in season 3. As he took him off the boat. I ain't like that at all.
Yeah. But Kima I like, and I love one scene in particular.
I wonder what you're talking about. Well, the thing also, the only thing I'll add is that I think the issue is that like, if they don't get all the guns, the whole thing falls apart in court, right? Yeah. That's the thing. It's like a lot of prosecutions just fail because the police just don't like cover their tracks. And like Herc and Carver though are just all about like showing muscle and kicking ass. They even say that Herc's
Yeah,
like, I wanna
splitting
just
heads, man.
Yeah, you should have seen how this bitch was looking at me, Kimo. You know, ha.
And right off the bat, also it establishes they kind of find her annoying, like Jesse said, they find her to be kind of like a goody two shoes, like too good for, and they kind of roll their eyes, and
Yep.
they also feel disrespected. And
Yep.
the ultimate irony of Herc and Carver, at least until Carver has his arc, is that they're constantly feeling like they don't get any respect from the other cops, but it's because they're a couple of dipshits who don't do their jobs properly.
It's
So,
warranted. It's warranted.
yeah, they bring it on themselves.
Carver, Herc doesn't really. I like Herc in season 2, but he's arguably the biggest cop crash out. Like he's a complete crash out almost in every season. He got a moment where he like, all right, you know,
Until he fails upwards. That's the thing about Herc, is that he just
he happened to fall into seeing the mayor getting the BJ, and that's how I got sergeant. You know, like kind of thing. He didn't get it off of his top tier work. You know, as a cop. Yeah. So
yeah. But Barksdale beats the case. Barlow is like shaking his head, and the way they celebrate, I always like how Stringer just says like, "You have a nice day," because it establishes who he is as a character. He doesn't have to say like "fuck you." He's like, "I already won. I don't need to prove anything. I can just be like the Barlow saying like, I'm gonna throw you away in jail," because he's like trying to save face at that point.
Yeah. And it establishes that Stringer's name too. You hear somebody say, "Come on, Stringer, let's go." You know, so
there's also a moment. There's also a moment that you don't appreciate in the courtroom until you rewatch it, when you see the walk-in of Savino's already there. Weebay walking in.
I saw that.
Yeah, same.
And then you're like,
good catch.
You're like, damn, he got some Barksdale people there. Like, man, they
y'all know what?
He's doing good.
Knowing after interviewing Chris Clanton and knowing that he was only 16 in the show, in that first scene, y'all, he looks menacing. Like, you know, he's sitting down with them. He don't look like no little 16-year-old kind of thing. He looks like, damn, okay, this is a real gangster right here. Like, you don't think 16-year-old when you look at it. So it's phenomenally how they shot that, knowing that he's 16. Because he don't look it. He definitely looks like a veteran gangster, you know, in that courtroom.
So with D found not guilty, we got Weebay and D'Angelo in the car, right? Jack?
Oh, I like that scene too.
So this scene, this scene is great because like it shows Weebay. Weebay's kind of like D. I mean, D has an uncle. D reports to Stringer, but Weebay
like
is D's tutor, right? Like, he's the one. Like
he's over them. Like, you know, he's I guess he's a kingpin. I don't know necessarily a kingpin. It's a Stringer and Avon, but he's a boss above everybody who's over the towers because he's dealing with money pickups. I'm dealing with, you know, I'm picking up money. When they get robbed, it's him that's berating D'Angelo. Like, bro, you got $20,000 coming up in this shit, bro. You at the fucking sandwich shop, bro. Like, you know, it's not Avon doing it. It's Weebay who is a boss. You know, I don't know what his title would be, but he's a boss over them people that work in the towers on the corner. I don't want to say they report to him, but he's over them in the pecking order for sure.
So in this car conversation, we find out D'Angelo, and shout out to Larry Gillard, who I always say is one of my favorite. Kamaal, you'll probably appreciate this. I say Larry Gillard is probably the best actor of season 1 for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's great, man. He's really, and you know, he's done a lot of stuff even prior to The Wire. I remember not knowing.
He graduated Juilliard. I don't know if you knew that.
Wow, I didn't know that. But I mean, are you surprised? I'm not surprised. He's really good, man. He's really good. I think that he was one of the faces. There were a lot of faces in that first episode, first season that were kind of unfamiliar. I mean, you had like, you know, some seasoned actors like, you know, Wendell Pierce and other people.
Wood Harris.
Yeah, Wood Harris. But yeah, absolutely. But he was one of those people. Larry was one of those people that you recognized him from, you know, a lot of things that he had done before. And I think when you're doing a TV show, you kind of sometimes you need, you know, your Wood Harrises and, you know, your Larry Gillards to, I've seen him in something else before. Yep. So, you know, it kind of gives I don't want to say gives it credit, but it gives it credit, but it makes people like, oh, okay. So there's a lot of times, it piques interest. It definitely piques interest. So no, I like that. I think
he is the MVP of season 1. Like
I agree.
And I dropped this fact too on people when they come on. So on a Google search, he had 440 dialogue lines compared to Idris Elba's 220 on the first season.
That makes sense.
What Lil Wayne say? Real G's moving silence like lasagna, right?
Yeah,
you don't gotta say much.
Yeah, man. He's definitely the season 1 MVP. In terms of the story, everything kind of revolves around him. He's definitely the season 1 MVP.
I thought about that doing the recaps here because I was like, yo, he has so many monologues. He's in so many scenes. I was like, wait a minute, is he the main Barksdale actor in season 1?
He is Barksdale actor. Yes.
Oh yeah, main Barksdale. So we'll find out that Wood Harris. So, but in this scene, right? And I love Hassan's acting with him too. And Hassan says, "Pull over the car, get it." And then we're talking in the car. I love this. I love this introduction into the organization of we already see that they're running tight, right? They're like, yo, we don't talk shop in the car. Like what's the rules? Repeat it to me. So I love this car scene. Kamaal, you want
and then the irony of the cop driving by too.
Oh yeah,
when they get out the car, the irony of that part. Like you're driving by a kingpin drug organization. You don't even know it. You're on your patrol.
You're on your way to something else that's probably not as big as us, but
bro, you speeding to something else. You don't even know who you passing right here, kind of thing. Like so the irony in that, but love that scene too. Like Weebay, and I say this all the time, y'all. I don't know where he would have fit in terms of putting him in more scenes, but every scene that he's in from season 1 to season 5, like I love him on screen in The Wire, man. I don't know where in the story it could have worked where we had more Weebay scenes. Wire's perfect in my eyes, but I just love him on screen, man. It don't matter what he's doing, from his interrogation scene, which is legendary, to him walking into the print shop with Stringer after Kima is shot. Like, he just has legendary moments.
He has a meme. He has a meme.
A
lot of people don't even know that's from The Wire. They just know that meme. Bro. They know that And when they what's genius about it is when they watch The Wire, their face becomes that of Weebay in the GIF. It's they're like, oh,
he's phenomenal on screen. And I say this to y'all all the time. Like, I call Jesse Big Chief. I got that from Weebay in season 2. Like, when he walks into the cell and he's like, Big Chief. I just love him on screen in The Wire. Like, and I haven't finished Eyes, so I don't know like how good he was in Eyes, and I might not ever finish Eyes. I don't know, but I just love him in The Wire.
Hassan wasn't in Oz.
He wasn't?
No, he's not.
No.
I think The Wire is
Bodie's in Oz. J.D.
Williams. Okay. Got it. Okay.
So, but come on, you were going to say something about the car scene. You said you liked it.
I think it's another, like I was saying about the surveillance cameras. It's another, in that first episode, insight into the wiretapping. Don't talk in the car. I mean, and later on, we see when McNulty goes to and he's like, oh, this is live. Yes, bro. Everything is wire. Everything is about tapping into like, they just show it so much. Like, it's kind of, or talk about it so much that it's in that first episode that it's hard to kind of miss, right? It's hard to kind of miss. And I think that it's just like one of those, it's like a running gag. But being like, every time, there's always something that speaks to wiretapping or shows some sort of wiretapping that that David Simon and the producers and directors did a really good job of bringing up a lot in the first episode to make you kind of understand what it was going to mean for the series.
And that's a great catch, Kamaal, because the episode isn't, we don't get an episode called The Wire, I want to say, until, is it episode 4, episode 5 maybe, where the actual title of the episode is The Wire. Okay.
Right. And also one thing, about just like the way I love the lighting here when they're sitting in front of the burger and chicken
Oh, yeah.
place. It's you just see the silhouettes of Weebay and D'Angelo and just like and you just see like the neon lights of the restaurant. I mentioned this last time about how a lot of shows last episode don't know how to like film at night because you can rarely see
It's
them.
hard, man.
And The Wire does such a great job, even from that first shot, even though it's at night. The your character and the character of McNulty are so illuminated. You could clearly see what's happening, and I feel like that's such a lost art, and it needs to come back in a way, you know. But they always do such a good job of showing the characters clearly, even during dark scenes, you know.
Yeah.
And Larry also Gilliard, because you mentioned that he did The Wire the same year as Gangs of New York. I remember he was like that same.
Wow.
But oh yeah, so we also see Judge Phelan. We're kind of cutting back here. Judge Phelan goes to McNulty. This conversation between McNulty and Phelan kind of sets up the entire plot of the entire show. That's like the opening domino, right? Because he's pissed off. How did this guy beat him? McNulty knows all about Avon Barksdale and Stringer Bell and all about the gangs, even though he's not even assigned to it. He says everybody knows, even though really nobody knows except for him. None of the cops know. He's the only person that knows about this. And
Which I find kind of weird because, like, in Jamaica Ave, like, there was this, like, drug kingpin, Kenneth McGriff. And it's like, all the cops knew about him. It's like, how do you not know who's running the West Side? You know, how's McNulty only the only one knowing this?
Well,
I guess that's why they're so
Jesse,
good, right? Because they
mind you,
stay
though,
on their
Jesse,
toes.
this is Baltimore. Okay, I don't, we don't really. We've seen as we break down, we own the city. You know, some of the stuff in terms of the cops and the corruption. It's not of my pay grade to worry about other stuff. I'm here to solve murders. I'm here to work my beat, work my posts. It's not really for me to worry about investigations that I ain't got nothing to do
Beyond me, yeah.
You know, I mean, and I could be wrong, but just looking at it from that simple perspective of, well, this is Baltimore. I don't really need to be tapped into what's going. This Baltimore's drugs everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I need to? Why am I worried about who's pushing the drugs in the city? It's drugs everywhere. That's not even of my concern, kind of thing. So
Yeah,
could be some of that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I get
what you're saying too. If you're as big as an Avon or a Supreme, somebody should know something, right? Like,
Yeah. So McNulty tells Phelan about this, right? And then I actually take this back. I thought McNulty was playing chess all along. I thought he was like setting up Phelan to like set up this whole thing.
And
that's a good theory because I kind of
now.
I think I rewatched it from that perspective, and I'm not sure either. I don't know.
I think he was just talking to him
when I watched it last night.
I think he was just answering the questions. He was just like, they,
talking to old friends.
I couldn't. I thought I'd be able to make that distinction last night, but I couldn't. When I watched it, I'm not sure. Like, if he was like, okay, I'm gonna go in here. Was he sure that he was gonna call him to the back? He wasn't. He didn't know.
He was. So I said that theory before, and I think I was completely wrong. I think he just went to see if the Barksdale. No, I said the theory that he went on purpose to get called into the back.
Right?
I don't think that was the case. I think he just wanted to go see and make sure that Barksdale got found guilty, which he didn't. And when he was walking out, Phelan called him into the thing, and he just started answering questions. I do believe that, So.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good point. I think what it is, it also just he's just very kind of jaded. He's like pissed off. He even makes that joke. He's like, Phelan's like, this is a court and a city of laws. He says, I thought this is Baltimore, and he's just kind of pissed off about what happens. And like I said, that is sort of the scene that just kind of everything rolls downhill, like piss and shit rolls downhill, as Carver says in the next scene. Trickles downhill. Yeah, and so we see that also, like, Greg's works with Daniels and Herc and Carver. Now they're specific, like, what like district are they in at first? Because they're in a separate They're in narcotics. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. And
Mhm.
obviously McNulty is in
Homicide.
homicide, and Daniels gets a call from the deputy commissioner that he's really pissed off about what happened. That they got a call from Judge Phelan. Everybody's now going to eat a bunch of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
McNulty. We also see Bunk has to take some murder, and uh, that's when the opening line comes, right? There it is, giving a fuck when it ain't your turn to give a fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
About this case. And McNulty's like, I'm not taking this case, this is ridiculous. And uh McNulty's like, I got better things to do,
Like,
He's
show me
always,
the love. Show me the
yeah.
love, Bunk.
What's great about McNulty's in this episode, and it kind of he's always like walking to somewhere. He's always got some place to be. He's very like ambitious, Yeah, and so we see automatically we're kind of established like all the main characters. And then we have McNulty come back at night to Landsman, and Landsman's like, he's annoyed because Bunk caught a murder. And it's funny that the way they respond, because they're just like, fuck, another murder. Like,
Yeah.
they're just upset because it's just like, it's just more pain in the ass for them.
Baltimore. What
They're
they
all
say?
about the
What do
clearance
Ross
rate.
say, Jack? We're averaging, what is it, a murder a day or 25 murders a month or something? That's like a murder a day, bro.
Yeah, exactly. They just want to keep it all down at this point. And of course, that's just not how things go, right? And we also see that Rawls is pissed off at McNulty.
And,
He's
and
like,
quick little side note too, Jack. I saw this yesterday. So like, we're not Raws. Landsman plays both sides so well. Like, okay, so he's really good friends with McNulty. He loves McNulty. And he's like, yeah, go see what Rawls is. He said, how would I know? I'm just your sergeant. Like, as if he don't know nothing about nothing. But when McNulty walks away, he kind of looks like, yeah, I kind of told Rawls already, like kind of what you did, kind of thing. I'm not gonna tell you, McNulty, that I threw you under the bus. I ain't gonna say it, kind of thing. But he's good for playing both sides, and he always has Rawls like in his mind, like as okay, I need to do right by Rawls.
oh yeah, like, he's like Rawls' pet.
Yeah, bro.
I think one of the things that I recognize in this, and I think now that I do a lot of behind the camera work, is how that scene starts, where he's looking out the window, right, and you see his reflection. I'm like, and they did it in the first episode. You see that a couple of times, but there's another. Oh, maybe that's the second episode. I forgot who's talking to. Is it the mayor of Baltimore? Somebody. They're talking about I think it's the second episode where they're talking about Presbeluski, but yeah, and that scene, that mirrored scene that kind of flips, they flip the world, and then McNulty is standing right there. I was like, when I saw that yesterday, I was like, yeah, that's some dope camera work, man. It's a really, really top tier shot.
You need to establish that Rawls' posture and that his character is extremely dominant. Like, that's why that camera is that scene is so
right
important
there.
because it's to show Rawls like, hey, look, he's extremely dominant, and I'm extremely pissed off. Yeah, you did this, McNulty. I'm heated. I'm so heated that I'm not sitting down when you walk in my office.
I'm standing up. Your ass, and this was going in your eye.
It shows his authority, and it's also like the whole thing is shot in the dark too. If you want to take it like a metaphorical, he's being kept in the dark. He's annoyed at Jimmy for not telling him what's happening. And the thing about it is like you kind of like it immediately establishes like Rawls is the asshole boss because you're you're from the perspective of the protagonist McNulty. But when you actually think about it, like Rawls kind of has a right to be pissed off because he completely went behind his back to get his boss in trouble. Like anybody would be annoyed by that because it's like you completely skip the chain of command to screw over your boss. He could have, went to Rawls first with this, but Rawls knows this and he feels okay, this guy is like an insubordinate person. Like I can't trust him.
Right.
And
But like Jesse said, I don't think it was intentional though. Either.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're going by the storyline though, he didn't really go behind Ross's back to do it on purpose. I think
not on purpose. I know. Yeah, I'm just saying. Even still, it's just like
Zach is saying. Well, if you want to talk to anybody about some shit, run your mouth to me. You know,
right?
That's kind of what Ross is saying. Like you want,
but also. But also
talk.
on the flip hand, like Rawls probably wouldn't have given a shit if McNulty went to him. So
Right.
I get there's multiple perspectives here, right? And like it also just shows. I like the way McNulty sits in the chair too. He's like a kid who's in trouble. He's just like he knows.
Yeah,
Dominic.
Yeah, I didn't know I didn't know he was gonna say anything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Dominic's face when he gets scolded is hysterical. He's always like a little kid getting scolded.
He's just rolling his eyes.
For sure. And 1 hour in, 2, we want to say please like, share, subscribe, comment, Wiretapped Truths. We appreciate all the love, all the support, all the fans. Thank you all. Thank you all. All right, y'all keep us going, Jack.
Yeah, man. Rawls makes McNulty spend overtime. He says, like, what about dots? And he says, fuck you and your dots. I like
he said, oh, where you going? He said, I'm going home. He said, oh, no. You're typing. I need to report by tomorrow. And put some dots on that bitch, too, while you at it. You know, shit. Deputy loves dots.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. We also see this is the introduction of Avon's nightclub, right? They're all celebrating D'Angelo getting out of jail.
Yeah.
And D'Angelo, it kind of establishes, hey, he's an important figure, right? He gets greeted by everyone at the club. And when he goes upstairs, though, we see Avon's the boss because he immediately makes everyone get out of the room.
Yep.
And he
when he's walking and D'Angelo is dapping up people, it also establishes that Weebay is over him again, even though you had the car moment. But he also said, like, what the fuck you talking to him for? Like, you know, he says that as he's walking. It's a quick moment. He daps him up, and he's like, man, what the fuck you talking to him for? Kind of thing. You know?
Oh, for sure.
And it establishes, too, the first time that we see Stringer interact with D'Angelo. It's like the look that he gives him, it's like, oh, got your weak ass nephew back out of jail, huh? That's kind of like how he's looking at him when he kind of up and down him. He's like, what's up, Weebay, my nigga? What's up, bro? It's all love to Weebay. And then he gets to D'Angelo and he's like, peasant. He looks at him like that, like, peasant. Goodness.
Well, it completely parallels also the previous scene, right? Because Rawls says to McNulty, like, sit down. And then Avon says the same exact thing to D'Angelo and scolds him in the same exact way. And that's why, like, I think D'Angelo and McNulty have this kind of, McNulty has this like bond with him throughout the show, in the same way he has this bond with Bodie later on. You know, they both kind of feel like annoyed by their position, right? And Avon explains, like, hey, we had to do all this shit to get you out of jail, all this money, all this energy. And now we also have people breathing down our necks. Like, D'Angelo's really happy, and Avon's like, you need to buckle down, right? And you need to, like, get your shit together.
So what I liked about this scene, too, is, like, when they were walking in, right? It's something I didn't notice before. So Marcel's down there, right? And he kind of tells Orlando, like, make Marcel pay for all his drinks. And it's like, so this guy.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny. Because he down there having a good time.
Yeah. But, it establishes character too, right? Because this guy's coming home. It's a homecoming for him from prison. And so, but Wood Harris looks down on him. Like, and the Barksdale guys look down on him. Yeah. And because they're like, this guy, we're not him. We deal drugs, but we're not him. We're like, that guy's scum, right?
Yeah.
And when D'Angelo says what's up to him, if you hear the background, I don't know.
He's like, what are you talking to him for?
Yeah, that's what I just said. I just said that, Jason. That's what I just said. Yeah.
He said, why are you talking to him for? I thought that was so funny.
Yeah,
that's a great catch.
It establishes Avon's power, too, because he ain't say shit to stick him to get them girls about the spot. He gave a look. And it's like, yeah, y'all got to go. Boss said it's time to go without he didn't even speak. He just said,
So and then when D's like,
go ahead, Jack.
When D's like, yo, I'm gonna show up tomorrow. I'm gonna make you proud at the high rises. you kind of see Avon's face, like, you're not going to high rises, but he's like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And then
think even leading up to that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. No, and then we don't know their family, right? I don't think we
Yeah.
know their family yet. And then he's like,
I
where you
think you
going?
get the impression though. You get the
Yeah.
impression in the strip club, right? Because he kind of suns him like, man, you ain't said nothing that I want to hear. Like
Yeah.
nothing,
Yeah.
and I think that kind of alludes to like I'm not just going to talk to somebody that like
And he
it
does
seems like
say
more than just a worker for him. They
he does
seem
say his
like
family when they leave, when he's
yeah,
about to leave.
he give him a
Man,
hug
come
and
back. He say, man,
Well,
you
no,
family.
I was
yeah.
gonna say right before that, we don't know their family.
Oh yeah.
Then
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
You
leaving,
don't know.
and then he's like, "Where you going without giving me a hug?"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Right.
and
We
we kind of
almost
I don't know shit about jail. All right.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I
He's like,
love
well,
that.
I don't know what you talking about. I ain't never been here.
I
Like,
don't know shit about jail.
I'm not
You know?
I
trying to
love that
know.
whole character.
Right.
I love that character from Avon. Like, it's right there. We know it's not your typical show, right? It's not this guy
Yeah.
that's in and out of
man,
prison.
Wood Harris is one of them ones, bro. He's
Bro.
one of them ones. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, the dude's
Attitude
range is
reflect leadership,
ridiculous, bro.
Captain. Remember to
Yeah,
tell you.
man. And Jack, we got about 15 more minutes with Kamaal. So just
Oh
be
yeah, of
mindful
course.
of that as we
Go
go
ahead.
through. Yeah.
I got you. I got you. Yeah. You'd almost make it almost would establish like you'd make sense to think he was his dad rather than his uncle. That's kind of what it shows. He has more of like a fatherly relationship. Now, we also D'Angelo, of course, gets demoted right to the
Mm-hmm.
terrace, and we see Poot and Bodie and Wallace. And speaking of Poot, I just want to let you know I got also the T-shirt too. It's in the wash. I don't want them to think I'm snubbing them. The reason I'm wearing the T-shirt's in the wash right now. But yeah, so D'Angelo is he introduced to Poot, Bodie, and Wallace, and they're sort of the terrace boys. And D'Angelo is not happy with the way things are done
Well, it
here.
looks very. I mean, so, and I don't think that I noticed that even. The like watching it until because I hadn't seen it in a long time, but just watching how they how they were just out in the open, like, oh yeah, just come on over here, and then he gives him the script like, yo, you gotta go around back, man. You can't just be serving at the same place where getting the money from. Like that's just like you look this silly. Like this how y'all had it set up. This like no. What was it? Ronnie Mo who was running it?
Ronnie Mo,
Ronnie
yep.
Mo. Ronnie Mo,
Yep.
yeah. It's how Ronnie Mo had it set up. Yeah, it's not. It wasn't.
Yeah.
But I think that it also kind of so I'm from the hood, right? So it took me back to growing up and kind of being a little bit younger than them and seeing that happening in my neighborhood, the way that they were kind of maneuvering the terrace, like it's something else, man.
Not
Drugs
subtle.
in the hood. It's not subtle at all. Like and I don't know. I think got my family up out of the city, but I don't know if it's still like that in certain. I'm sure it is still like that in certain places where it's just that out in the open. A lot of things are on cell phones now, so it's like come here, come there. But like back then, you pull up to the block or you pull up to the high rise and you pull up to the low rises and you just go up and you cop up whatever you need and then you go about your business. But it's a little bit different now, I think. And that's the one of the great things about The Wire is because it's a period piece, right? So we see
Mhm.
the pagers and how drugs were run in the early 2000s and prior to that. We don't probably that it's not like that anymore. But
When's the last
I
time y'all
love
seen a payphone somewhere that
that's
works?
how you can pay
Or a
phone at work.
typewriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a typewriter. Well, they talk about and the crazy part is in that in that first episode, they're like, well, what happened to those computers that we're supposed to get?
Yeah.
Like, that's the new thing.
It's
Like
a
not
computer.
laptops, it's a
Whoa.
computer. Like,
Yeah, that brings me back, man. That's the thing is like watching is like holy shit. Now it's
yeah,
like everyone has and that's kind of the thing too when we watch like we also review We Own the City and it's just showing like the difference, and of course with technology and how much things have changed
yeah.
here. And yeah, so yeah, it definitely gives me nostalgia to that time of the early 2000s. We establish Bubbles and Johnny too.
Mhm.
Oh God.
And the first time we see them, they're both tweaking out on heroin. And Bubbles.
blowing bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He's
the only
drooling.
time too, Kamaal, I don't know if you know this. It's the only time in the show where Bubbles is actually blowing spit bubbles. So it establishes where his name comes from. Is in that opening scene when they're in there, they're tweaking out. He's blowing spit bubbles. Like, oh, that's why they call him Bubbles. Okay,
but like you said, I think you said this early on. Like we get the introduction, like very distinct introductions from everybody. You know, even is the chicken nugget scene with the kids? Is that in the first?
I think that's
episode
a different episode.
I think that might be episode 2.
That's not first season. That's not first episode.
But you know what is in the first is the Hamilton scene where he's like, "Oh, that's not a president. Yo, you got to be a president to get on it." Like it kind of shows, like, yo, D'Angelo, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and even these guys know a lot more than you do.
Come on, I said this on our podcast, and Jesse was like, "Well, sometimes it's just the loudest person in the room just thinks they're right," kind of thing. I thought for sure that he was a president when all these years. I was like, oh yeah, D'Angelo's right. I did not know that he was wrong. Like I was like, he's a president. I ain't go back and look at my history and be like, oh,
right,
he's not a president, kind of thing.
Just go see the musical.
Funny too. Right. So we'll talk about that scene. We'll talk about that scene real quick. So he got right. Wallace is on the watch, and he gives money, and Bodie's actually the one who says, "Yo, you want to check that, right?"
Yes.
And he's like, we, and D's like, "What?" And he's like, "I don't know how you guys do things out there, but down here, you want to check that.
Down here in the stairs, you want to count that, yeah."
So, and then he's like, "Yo, money be green," and then he's like, "Yo, this is not." So it kind of shows that Wallace was pretty smart, but also, why are you guys wasting time arguing if Hamilton was it shows D getting caught up in this silly argument too of whether Hamilton is president or not. That's not the point of the argument.
I think also it shows that they're just kids too. They're just kids. They're like young and naive and innocent.
It's like the chicken nuggets. The guy who made chicken nuggets must be rich.
No, probably not. And that little scene too, with the money thing too. Come on, I know you're a Power fan. They relived that in Power in season 5 with Tariq and 50. When Tariq is on the street, he comes back with the money and he like, man, this fucking 20 is fake. You supposed to be out there hustling for me. How the fuck you getting beat for the money? That's from The Wire. That's like clear scene steals from The Wire kind of thing for sure.
Well, also Jesse, to add to your point with the Hamilton argument is kind of, now when I think about it, it's like, why argue about this shit? It just makes me think of Herc and Carver arguing about piss and shit rolling. It's just enough. They spend a lot of time. It's so real because those are just like the random nonsense conversations we have.
It gives like Larry David. You know what I'm saying? It's very show about nothing or Curb Your Enthusiasm, Seinfeldish. It's like let's talk to pass the time. Just to hear ourselves talk,
right?
That's hysterical. It does have some Larry David to it, but also to my point, just being like, imagine telling String or Avon if they're like, "Yo, you got," and they were like, "Yo, there's a president." They'd be like, "Hamilton's not no president." They were like, "Yo, shut the fuck up!"
Get the fuck out of my face about this shit, bro. What the fuck is the money? How the fuck you get beat for the money?
You got beat by loose leaf paper dipped in tea or coffee.
and we posed this question too when we first broke down this episode, my first episode of this podcast. Come on, where the fuck did Bubbles and Johnny go to make them copies? They go to Kinko's, or did they press it with the iron, or where y'all go to put that fake money on that piece of paper, like
and cutting it with the knife? And I was like, man, listen, that's that's very interesting. Somebody out there got it for the low, man. Just come and go get you a couple of 8x10 loose leafs of $10 bills.
What they will do to get there, to chase their goal, to get that high, it's it's
you do anything,
you
do anything. They could have walked into you'll do anything. You probably snuck in the office and I don't know, because they didn't even. The crazy part is the police officers didn't have computers. But the fiends had printers.
Right. Right.
They could have just gotten Monopoly money. It's like why they went to all that trouble to get like fake. Yeah, they might just be some guy selling paper or something. I don't have a trench coat.
If you guys don't mind, I just want to do this part with Kamaal, and so I want to skip over a little, and then us three could recap the rest. We could go back and recap the rest if that's okay. But there was something that stood out. So, all right. So Leo Fitzpatrick, who was from Kids, Johnny from Johnny and Bubbles. What ends up happening is he wants to run the scheme himself. So Bubbles is like, he's like, yo, I could do it. Wallace already sees he got caught. He got. And then Johnny's there. He's all nervous. Wallace is nervous, counting the money. The money drops, and Johnny just kind of takes off. Bodie sees the money was fake, and he's like, yo, this is the guy that got us. They stomp out Johnny, and this is what makes Bubbles call Kima. And he's like, yo, I got something for you. The Barksdale, which now the two are connecting, right? Because Bubbles... Now Kima sees that Barksdale is true, because Bubbles is about to tell her. And McNulty already brought the case to them. Wallace stomping out, and shout out to Michael B. Jordan. I know you're going to get an Oscar. You better date Kamaal Bostic, man. I was like, imagine Michael B. Jordan like, I was watching Wiretapped Truths. Shout out to Kamaal Bostic Smith.
I'll take it.
But I know you about to go, Jesse. Go ahead and finish your point before we let Kamaal go. Yeah.
So, okay. It makes no sense to me that Wallace is in on stomping somebody half to death, because he's not that kind of kid, and I don't think he should have been part of that. You know?
Yeah, but when you in it, you got to be either you all in or you not all in, right?
And it's the thing too, Jesse, too.
But that's what. But we find out he's not. As the show goes on, we find out that D'Angelo gave him that same speech, and he doesn't really have the heart for it, right?
But look at the levels of it too, though. Like, okay, so I'm with stomping out somebody who shorted us on the money. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm stomping him out with my boys. I'm the one that's gonna look bad. You know, we caught him less, so he has to pay. I'm fine with that. But killing somebody and poking their eyeball out and slashing their eye out and putting it in front of my house, that's
a little far.
That's a different level of stomping somebody out who stole from you, I guess. Like,
I guess how much is. So, all right, I guess where I'll go with this is
you're trying to establish his moral code, essentially.
How? Well, not only that, how do you stomp out somebody so severely that you put them in the hospital? Like, wouldn't the stomp out, and Kamaal, you said you're from the hood, wouldn't the stomp out just normally be not on life or death?
We talking early 2000s. Them Timbs hurt, man, and they all had on Timbs. Okay, them Timbs hurt, man. It could you get stomped in the head the right way, you'll be sitting up in the hospital too with bubbles at your feet. Okay,
in the face.
But I don't know, bro. I think for him, stomping out somebody who stole from them, you know, and he was the reason, he was in part of the transaction, versus seeing Brandon with his eyeball poked out and dead and his whole insides out, and it's that I don't know. Like, I get what you're trying to establish though, but I think it's a little different in terms.
Also, he gets a bottle cracked over his head too. Like, that's got to do some fucking, you know.
I will say this, and then I'll jump off. But I will say this: I think that, you know, with any character, you just like humans, right? There's levels to us, right? So, he's not. He's a kid, so he's learning. And we talked about this earlier about with D'Angelo. Like, when you're surrounded by it, like, you know, you have to figure out what your part is in this situation, right? Mm-hmm. So that's, you know, maybe that of course that wasn't him. We learned that he doesn't have the heart for it, but he had to learn that, right? So we went on the journey with him and him learning it. He had to stop somebody. He had to, you know, get beat out of money. There's things that had to happen for him to take that journey, for us, the watcher, and for him, the person, to see that this is not who you are, and this is not, you know. And his demise was, you know, unfortunate, but, you know, like, I think that it had to be those levels that had to happen.
His demise is one of the reasons. His relationship with D'Angelo is one of the reasons why I think personally is why D'Angelo is so revered, is because of his relationship with Wallace. And, like, you know, I turned on my uncle and Stringer because y'all killed Wallace. Really, like, you know, I'm willing to say fuck y'all and the organization because y'all killed my boy. Y'all killed Wallace. You know, like, you know, I'm willing to stay in jail for an extra 10 years and not get out early with my uncle because y'all killed Wallace. Like, it's all of that. The Wallace kill and D'Angelo are they like, you know, they're tied together for pretty much the rest of D'Angelo's time on the wire until he's dead, you know, kind of thing. So, man, Kamaal, thank you so much, boss. We know you gotta get out of here, bro, man. Legendary, groundbreaking episode, the first of many to come, bro. We appreciate you being our first repeat guest coming on, breaking down this with us, man. Any shout outs you want to give? Any projects you working on, Kamaal?
Working on a film right now called Flipped. We start filming January 24th. So
congratulations.
I'm directing that. And yeah, anytime, man. I appreciate you guys. I feel like family now. So
bro, man. We appreciate you tapping back in with us, bro. We just trying to do something different from most Wire podcasts and just really touch people that really are true avid fans of the show, bro. So we appreciate you tapping in with us, man. We know you got a busy Saturday. We appreciate it. You need anything when you get finished with the film, send it to Jesse, send it to us. We'll plug it in our links. We have your YouTube page in our link in all of our long videos.
Yeah, so, Jesse definitely let me know, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love, man. And I see y'all.
For sure. Appreciate you, Kamaal. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you, man. All right, man. This has been a phenomenal episode. Team, what y'all want to do? We're at the end of the episode.
I kind of skipped towards the end. I think what we
I appreciate that.
What we kind of skipped over was Daniel's finding out Daniel's finding out McNulty and McNulty bringing the case. We did a season 1 recap already. I don't know if you guys want to go over that part. I mean, I'm with whatever you guys are.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was more so to go over episode 1 with Kamaal. You know, I think anybody that's fans of our show, y'all have seen season 1, episode 1. I mean, you know, or y'all can go see season 1, episode 1 recap in our channel too. Yeah, I think I don't think we need to finish breaking it down. We kind of jump to the ending and then we'll jump back.
Yeah, we got caught up in some other movie conversation with Kamaal, but it's all good. Like
it's all good.
That's the beauty of having a guest on, right?
Right. You want to do our shout out, Jesse?
I wanted to announce one thing. So the Emmys made an announcement on September 2026. They're going to introduce the Legacy Award. Now, the requirement for the Legacy Award is it has to have an impactful impact in the industry. It has to be at least 5 seasons, and it has to be 60 episodes. That's
so it's America's Next Top Model, right?
Well, that's awfully specific, right? Like, because it's like The Wire meets the requirement just there. 5 seasons, 60 episodes exactly.
Yeah.
And it looks like the Emmy. I think that was heavily coded for telling us that The Wire is about to get their first Emmy.
I think they feel like they owe it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Oscars does, like the honorary awards.
We talked about that last week. Yeah.
It's like it's like a celebration.
Who was the actress? I think I mentioned like Angela Bassett. She's like 74, 73, I think.
She's not 74.
Bro, look it up.
Angela Bassett is. Hold on. No way. No fucking way.
I'm just be talking to talk. Like, you know, look it up. She might be
67. Holy shit. She looks amazing for 67. What the
67?
fuck?
67?
That's. I would have thought like 50. That's crazy.
She's been out. She's been out a while, Angela Bassett.
Yeah, I just thought she started like really young. Holy shit, dude. That's
maybe I got the wrong actress then, because I remember thinking, damn, she's 70.
I think 67 is pretty. But yeah, she was nominated a few years ago for the Black Panther sequel, and then
everybody thought she was going to win. Yeah,
right. She lost to Jamie Lee Curtis. Personally, I loved that movie, the Everything Everywhere All at Once movie. That one like won every fucking award. The Golden Globes are tomorrow. You know, Sinners is up there, One Battle After Another, Begonia, all that shit. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Sinners is gonna win. I can almost guarantee it.
Which award specifically?
It's nominated for a lot of awards. Best actor in a drama, best picture in a drama.
Yeah, I'm not too confident about everything else, but I know best picture should go.
I have to watch a lot of the movies that came out this year. I just, me and Jesse really loved Marty Supreme. I think you really loved it, right? I thought it was great. I'm watching One Battle After Another this week with friends. and at the movies if you want to come along, and you know, I haven't seen a lot of the TV shows too that are out there. I know that show, the HBO show, The Pit, is big.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good one. All right.
What's the other one you told us to watch, Jesse? You said it was really good. It's a cop show.
Task.
Yeah, yeah.
It was.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm watching One Battle Another. If you want to come along, I don't know. You're always more than welcome to. Leland, you live in Atlanta, so it'd be hard to fly over.
I told you how my wife views me in the movie theaters, bro. She is, you know. She's not. We not going. I've fallen asleep too many times, so I'm convincing her to go see Miss Donna's movie. You know, I gotta tell her it's for work, it's for business. You know, it's for our podcast. We gotta go.
I want to watch that show Severance too. Everyone says that's really great with Adam Scott.
Is good.
Have y'all have any of y'all tapped into the Vince Gilligan show?
Yes, dude, that show is fantastic.
Is it really? Okay,
I love it personally. Okay. It's not for everyone. It's like, you know what the thing is? It's like, it's kind of like The Wire in the sense that it takes like it's you have to really pay attention. You can't just it's not like some people. The thing with Better Call Saul or The Wire is that like I like the pacing too, but for somebody that's just like, I want constant shit, like you need to, it'll take a few episodes to really get into it. But once you're in it, you're just like, whoa.
I might check it out. Yeah.
It has the main lady from Better Call Saul.
Yeah, Kim Westler. I don't know her actual name.
Rhea Seehorn. She's really good. She, and so a lot of good stuff coming out. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff there, man. Appreciate y'all this morning. Kamaal, man, appreciate you. You want to do our shout outs, Jesse?
Sure. Kamaal Bostic Smith, brother. He shouted himself out and he told us where to catch him. So we got that one. Michael Kevin Darnaw. Check his Instagram. I don't know what he's got going on right now. Probably another play, but we're gonna get him back on soon too. We got another play coming on. Maestro Harrell, YouTube channel. He was going he was doing the Wire. I was on his YouTube on Wednesday. He was watching the Wire Stories, that little cartoon thing.
Shoot!
He was like into it. Yeah. He was doing that. He was covering that. And I
meant to tell y'all about that. I was talking to my business partner about that last night because we were talking about some other YouTube AI stuff, and we was talking about it. And I was telling him about that. Have y'all tuned into that? Yeah.
I saw a little bit of it. But it's pretty funny. It's pretty cool. Maestro was watching the whole thing.
It's this channel or this page on Facebook. And he's basically continuing the Wire story after season 5, and he's got like it's like AI generated and people, but like Wire fans love it. Like it's like
people are loving it.
People are tuning into it. So I think I'm gonna check it out. And see kind of what's what. Yeah, it's pretty. He's got like music and backdrops to it. It's pretty dope. Like from the little bit that I've seen. So I'm happy.
I was laughing because Maestro was watching it and he's like, oh,
that's tough. Okay.
I want to see Mayor Clay Davis. That's what I would do if I was the writer of season 6. I would just like totally just change. I would make Commissioner McNulty.
Oh, Clay Davis, the mayor.
Mayor Clay Davis.
Well, you can't do it no more. You would have to have Clay Davis pass away.
Damn. All right.
Rest in peace to Isaiah Whitlock and
we'll be releasing that. By the time this is out, they'll see the Isaiah Clay Davis tribute.
Mayor Bubbles finds his way to become mayor.
Bubbles for mayor.
That would.
We got Julito McCullum.
McCullum, Twitter page.
You can get his cities. He's released the album too, 33 Summers. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Donna Adrian Gibson, the executive producer.
Thank you, Ms. Donna. Receive our Christmas gifts. Thank you so much. We love you.
And her and Deanna Ogle, who we have an interview with her, Miss Donna's daughter, she was in that scene, and she's also a ring girl in the boxing scene in season 4. And me and Leland had a real fun conversation with her. That's going to be pretty cool to check out. I
had to work that night. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go, but I heard it was great.
Chris Clanton's book, The Law to Finessing Me. Shout out to Chris Clanton. I need to give him a call. I need to check in on him. Shout out to Chris Clanton, the Law to Finesse and Me. You mentioned Maestro already. Nakia Dillard, he has an acting class, an acting school. We will have the link in the bio. They will take on anybody from a newborn up to a 100-year-old person. So they can help you if you want to get into acting. Phenomenal dude, phenomenal setup. Let's see. S&P Rise, the nonprofit from Mr. Alonzo Wilson. You can check that out at www.snprise.org. We have Miss Amanda Johnson, the costume designer from The Wire. You can visit the Amanda James Gallery, which is home to her studio, art gallery, and frame shop and boutique. It is
costume department. She worked in the costume department. I'm sorry.
Costume department. It's home to her studio, art gallery, frame shop, and boutique, and that's 400 Gulfstream Boulevard in Delray Beach, Florida, 33444, and it's open Tuesday to Saturdays, 10 to 4:30. And you can also reach her at www.amandajohnsonstudio.com. I think that's everybody. Everybody in terms of the links. You can shout out Bob Spore and
Bob Spore. Bob Spore, thank you for putting. I was just spoke to him this morning. He's actually seeing Brooke Eden. They're going to a funeral of a friend of theirs. My
blessings.
Condolences to your loss, Bob and Brooke. And Bob wants to come on, man. We're gonna have Bob on soon in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And we're gonna shout out to Brooke Yeaton, who worked on Sinners, who was the prop master,
aka White Mike, for those that don't know.
Who I didn't know, and we just released that interview, so check out that interview on our page. And I find out that they don't get an Oscar, which I think is blasphemy. Give the prop master an Oscar, you know.
Good stuff, man. Phenomenal, man. Appreciate y'all this morning.
Thank you,
great episode. We appreciate all the love. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Wiretapped Truths. We're bringing you all some special episodes, bringing you all a tribute episode to Clay Davis. To you all soon. It'll definitely be out by the time you all see this episode. We're definitely still going to be finishing The Wire. We've got some interviews coming up. We're trying to do some special interviews, putting together almost a panel of Wire guests and Wire cast members, something that's going to be, it's in the works that we're trying to plan out for you all. So we appreciate all the love, all the support. If you want
Leo Fitzpatrick, call us, bro.
Facts.
Answer your Instagram, dude.
Come on with it, man. We'd love to have you on, man, for sure. If you want to book us for any voiceover work, all three of us are available. You can reach out to us at wiretappedtruths@gmail.com. Please comment, subscribe, like, share everything Wiretapped Truths. It's been a phenomenal journey. We are approaching 130,000 views, so we love it. We are here to give you all some of the best Wire content that has ever been created from a podcast. So we love it. We love all y'all, and thank y'all for tuning in. Have a good one.
See ya.